Um, I gotta revisit this topic right here about a security agreement because I've been kind of beating myself up about this a little bit because I didn't want to move in haste, but at the same time I wanted to understand exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I didn't want to follow the crowd with the usual way of how people are doing security agreements, and because for some of the examples that I've seen did not make sense to me. It didn't add up, so I didn't move on it because the examples that I see is like it's like when you got the living man. You got the living man doing a contract with the straw man. You know, I've seen those, and that didn't sit right with me from the start because if it's Uniform Commercial Code, which is what UCC stands for, the key word is commercial. Living men and women do not exist in the commercial world. So how do you get to what makes us think we can contract with the living man with a contract with an entity, a fictitious entity? If we could do so, then these creditors that's on your credit report, they will have a valid claim because then those are fictitious entities claiming that they got a contract with you. But keep in mind, you signed on behalf of the straw man, but nobody signed on behalf of that straw man. Like Walmart, Sears, Bank of America, any of these creditors on your credit report, none of them signed on behalf of that entity. What was that, a unilateral contract where one person signs? So it's two entities are involved, but only one living man is actually signing documents. So at the time when you're actually receiving whatever it is that you're applying for. And so back to the UCC, it lets living men and women just don't exist there. We have to have a go-between. You have to have a vessel in order to conduct business in the commercial world. And that's what we call the straw man or the ensligus, the Sesta K Trust, whichever one you want to call it. The all caps name, whatever you want to call it. So you're using that to conduct business. Now, it only makes sense for another entity to do business with it in order to perfect an interest, to perfect a security interest. That's where the trust comes in. Okay, it makes sense. Now it makes sense to me to use your trust and make the trust the secure party. The living man can't be the secure party because the living man doesn't exist in the commercial world. And the UCC governs commercial. Matter of fact, let's click on something real quick. Purpose of the UCC. Let me see what it's going to say. To make business activities consist and therefore efficient across all the United States. Okay, that's not enough. What is the purpose of the UCC? What the hell is the Quizlet? No. Let's see. The UCC is a comprehensive set of laws governing all commercial transactions in the United States. The key word is commercial. Okay? Commercial. Overall purpose of the UCC lien is to allow a creditor to claim collateral on on financing with a debtor. The debtor is the straw man. Okay? The creditor, of course, we are the creditors, but you have to have you can't do it with your own body. You have to have a go-between. That's why you have to have some type of entity, a vessel, to deal with your straw man. Okay? So this is what I'm seeing. Okay, so this is what you do it however you want to do it, but this is how I'm seeing this. Okay, it makes sense, perfect sense, because we're dealing with commercial activity. Okay, you're dealing with business, govern all commercial transactions. Commercial, that is business. Okay, we don't exist in the commercial world. Okay, now security agreements. This brings me to this. Okay, at a minimum, a valid security agreement consists of a description of the collateral. Does not your trust have a list of the collateral in the Schedule A? Okay, let's keep going. A statement of the intention of providing security interests. Okay, is that not a declaration of trust? Are you not speaking your intent? Okay, and signatures of all parties involved. Self-explanatory. Let's go to this right here. Indenture of a trust law. Okay, and legal definitions. The indenture was just indenture trust, indenture of trust. That's basically what we're talking about when I was going to mention trust indenture or indenture of trust. Is the same thing. It's a document containing the terms and conditions governing a trustee's conduct and the trust beneficiary's rights. It is an agreement in the bond contract made between the bond issuer, that would be the settler, and the trustee that represents the bondholder's interest, by highlighting the rules and responsibilities that each party must adhere to. It also dictates the circumstances and processes surrounding a default. Trust indentures may not be included in every trust indentures may not be included in every bond contract. Indenture of trust is also known as trust indenture. That's what I normally call it. But bottom line is, this is exactly what your trust sounds like. This is exactly how your trust is structured. That's exactly what it said. Does that not sound like this description right here? Okay. You basically, the full intentions of what the trust is all about, how it's laid out, who does what, who's empowered to do what, and what they're restricted from doing. That lays out the foundation of what it's about and even at the beginning of the trust, you say the purpose of the trust. Okay. You also speak the intentions of it, what type of trust it is. Is it revocable or irrevocable? All these different things that you must state in while you're creating a trust. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you an example in a second. Hold on a second. Okay, it says the signature of all parties involved. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you an example real quick. Revocable. Trust. I'm just gonna pick a state. I'm in Georgia, but we're gonna play with it anyway. Let's see. I'm gonna find the statutes in Texas. If I can find the statute. Let me go back and go where I'm familiar. Yeah, we'll do Kansas. Oh, I saw Georgia. That's why I'm a Georgia boy. So let's do Georgia. Okay. OCGA, where you at? Well, damn, you still gonna play. Here we go. Okay, revocation. Let's see. Revocable trust. Okay, notice of trust, trust content, revocation and modification. Is that really where I want to be at? Let me see if I want to go. Here we go. Trust right here. Okay, trustees. Here we go. Revocable trust. Okay. Damn, still led me to the same spot. Okay, power of agents. To revoke a trust. Let me see. Let me go back. Let me see if I can play with this a little bit. Creation. This is what I was talking about right here. The creation. Express trust. We can trust for animals. Transfer of property to the trust. See, y'all see these? This is why I tell people stop listening to people when they tell you don't listen, don't read the codes. They don't apply. They only apply to the straw man. Why are they telling you how to put a trust together? This thing is literally telling you what you need in a trust. Okay, separate from provided in D, in subsection D, which is right down here. This code section is express trust. An express trust shall be created or declared in writing and signed by the settler or an agent for the settler acting under the power of attorney containing express authorization. An express trust shall have ascertainable with reasonable certainty. Number one, an intention by the seller to create a trust. Trust property. See? Except for a charitable trust or a trust for care of animals, a beneficiary who is reasonably ascertainable at the time of the creation of such trust, or reasonably ascertainable within the period of the rule against perpetuities. Number 4, a trustee. Number 5, trustee duties. See right here? That's the trust indenture right there. That's the indenture part of the trust. Trustee duties specified in writing or provided by law. See? This is you pretty much putting the whole layout. This is exactly what a security agreement sounds like. Say the requirement of that a trust having a reasonable ascertainable beneficiary shall be satisfied if under the trust instrument, the trustee or some other person has the power to select the beneficiaries based on a standard or in the discretion of the trustee or other person. Now, D, let me see what they say as a right there. Anyway, in case of a trust created pursuant to 42 U.S.C. section 1396 PD 4B by an agent acting for a settler, the power of attorney need not contain an express authorization to create declaration of trust. Now, let's see right here. It's telling you the whole layout. It's telling you what a trust needs. This tells you exactly what a trust needs. Don't y'all listen to people telling y'all don't read the state statutes. Read your goddamn statutes. That's how you learn the game, how to play the game. Okay? Now, back to what we were talking about. I don't need that right now. But back to here. This is what the trust indenture is. It's an intention right here. You're telling exactly what the whole layout is. And the signatures. You gotta have the signatures. You can. It's not. This basically meets a trust basically meets the requirement of a trust agreement. This is the conclusion I come up with. So this is why I make this video, because now I'm convinced, because I never actually broke it down to even see what the requirements for even having a security agreement. I'm thinking, I do remember reading a short statement about what a security agreement is, a trust and security agreement, but I wasn't convinced just yet because I hadn't looked it up and really dug into the requirements of one. Now that you see for yourself, these are the requirements: a statement of intention of providing a security interest. Now, let's see. And you know the interest, everything that's in the straw man's name has interest attached to it. Okay? That is it. That includes everything. I don't even want to make examples. You just think whatever it is that the straw man's name is on, you have a security interest in it. Okay? Because you know it's bonded some type of way. They got CUSA numbers attached to it. They secure them all the time. They got stuff trading on the market all the damn time. So anything with the straw man's name on it, you have a security interest in it. Okay? Now, matter of fact, let me see if I can. We don't want to talk about no mortgages. We're talking about trust right now, different types of security interests. I want to look at that. Here we go. I like Cornell. Is someone's interest in someone else's property created by contract or a law or by law? A mortgage is one type of security interest created by a contract. A garnishment is one type of security interest created by law. Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper than that. Let's see. Say any interest in property which secures payment or performance of obligation. Say security interest. The term security and security interest means remember I told y'all it also depends on what code you're reading, because these different codes have different types of descriptions of definitions. Okay, the term security and security interest may mean any interest in property which secures payment or performance of an obligation. Okay. Trustee does all the performing. Okay. Trustee does everything too. They pretty much take care of every damn thing because they're the one that's running it. Let's see what else can we use here. What else can we read here? What was that there? It's an enforceable legal claim or lien in collateral that has been pledged, usually to obtain a loan. Usually, not all the time, but usually to obtain a loan. And y'all know we're never the one. We're never the debtors. Y'all do know that, right? We're never the borrowers. We're always the creditors. Okay? They just make you think you're the borrower because everything comes. We are the one that actually create all the credit. We're the ones that actually we're the source of all the credit. Put it like that. Okay? The borrower provides a lender. Okay, this is from an Investopedia. But anyway, y'all get the picture right there. Now, that goes back to the requirements. So I just thought I'd kind of just make this video. I hope it's not that long. But I just wanted to kind of touch on this topic again about a security agreement. And a security agreement, from what I'm looking at right here, is a trust is also a trust. The trust itself. You can actually use a certificate of trust. That's something that you will use instead of your trust itself. If you want the trust remains private. Okay, you got to keep that in mind. The trust is a private document. Okay, just for y'all new people who have not seen anything about my trust certificate of trust, I just click on one. Certificate of trust, Florida. See, certificate of trust. Instead of furnishing a copy of the trust instrument, that's the actual trust, to a person other than the beneficiary, the trustee may furnish a person a certificate of trust containing the following information. And as you see, if you read right here, the trust exists, the date the trust instrument was executed, the identity of the settler, the identity and address of the currently acting trustee, the power of the trustee. That's what the indenture does. That's what the indenture is stating. Okay, whether the trust contains any powers of direction, and if so, the identity of the current trust directors, the trustee powers subject to the power of direction, and whether the trust directors have directed or authorized the trustee to engage in the proposed transaction for which the certification of trust was issued. Say the revocability or irrevocability of the trust, and identity of any person holding the power to revoke the trust. See, this is telling you the whole layout. This is what the certificate of trust does, without giving too much. Like, it doesn't say anything about putting the property in there. You don't have to state the property inside this. You won't see that on any certificate of trust thing. Is manner of taking title to trust property. The manner of taking title to trust property, but it don't say you have to list the property in there. This is more like a summary, an overall summary of the trust, so that you can keep all your property, the new one, the real meat and potatoes of your trust, private. So you have one of these put in place. So you can actually file this instead of your trust as your security agreement. That way your trust itself will stay private. So I thought I'd just kind of share that. Okay, I thought I'd just share that and put that in there. I did this on the video before. This NOLO, y'all can look that up if you want to. But I thought I'd make this, make a video to kind of point out what I'm looking at when it comes to a security agreement. And so what you do with that information, whatever makes you feel, more liberated, that's up to you. But as for me, I will be using my certificate of trust, which I've already filed in my UCC anyway. Okay, but I thought I'd go ahead and make the video anyway. I think it'd be useful for somebody. If it helped you out, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share the videos, comment, and any questions or comments, hit me in the comment section, y'all. I'll see y'all on the next video. All right, Emerald signing out.